And just as my face was near, he opened his hand, and a burst of light escaped. And I looked up just in time to see it illuminate his face too. Once again, he was smiling. Watch how they sparkle, he reveled. And with a flip of his wrist, the palm full of diamonds soared into the blackness until they found their destiny, and there they hung. Won't the children love them? The Maker said, as together we watched them twinkling. I still wasn't sure what or who these children were, but I knew they occupied a place in his dream, like nothing else. Ever since the dream started, the Father spoke often of these children, what they would look like, how they would respond. I remember once the Father held a spear in one hand and motioned to me with the other. Come, see what my children will see. He then put his finger to his lips and blew gently. Off his fingertips floated tiny wisps of white cotton balls of fluff. What do they do? I asked as I strained to see the puffs sail toward the globe. Oh, Michael, he boomed with excitement. They do everything. They give shade, they give rain, but most of all, my children can watch them pass. And if they look closely, they will see me. That was the way he thought about everything. All the dream was for the children, and in all the dream was the Father. With a waterfall, he said, I made it small so they could run in and out of it. With the dandelion, this is just the right size for the children to blow. And the rivers and the canyons, oh, they can sit by them, hear and watch the water race down through the valley. But where are the children? I once asked, looking into the same space from whence had come the rest of his dream. Oh, not out there, replied the artist. There was an urgency in his voice as he repeated, not out there. But that is all the Father said, and that's all I asked. With the coming of the creatures, I almost forgot. We laughed so much. He made them, each one special, the tiny wings of the mosquito, the honk of unlike any other sound for the goose, and the shell for the turtle, and the darting eyes of the owl. He even let me decorate a few. I put violet on the butterfly's wings, and he loved my idea, and he stretched the elephant's nose. That was wonderful. What fun it was as the heavens gave birth to the fowl and the fish, reptile and the rodent. No more had the little one scurried off his palm than the giant ones appeared. He grabbed the giraffe and stretched its neck, and he put a hole in the elephant's head so it had to come to the surface so the children could see it. What will they call him, I asked. Oh, I'll leave that up to the children. The children. I almost forgot. But he hadn't. As the last winged creature left his fingers, he turned and looked at me, and I knew. It's time. Yes, it's time. I expected to see his eyes dance again, but they didn't. I anticipated eagerness, but he didn't begin. For a long period, he sat and looked out into the void, longer than normal. Did you see the children? No, they're not to be found out there. Then what do you see? I see their deeds, he spoke softly. The joy was gone from his voice. What? What is it? What is it you see? Perhaps it was because he thought I needed to know, or maybe because he needed someone else to know. I'm not sure why, but he did what he had never done. He let me see. As if the sky were a curtain, he took it and pulled it back. Before I could see it, I could smell it. Its stench stung my eyes. The greed you smell, he explained. A love for foolish, empty things. I started to turn away, but my king didn't, so I didn't. I looked again. It was so dark. A darkness unlike the starless sky, a blackness unlike the void. This darkness moved, it crept, it shadowed and swayed. It was like a living soot. He knew my thoughts and spoke. His words were slow and spaced. They will put it out. What? They will destroy that which makes them mine. It was then I saw it for the first time. He reached into himself, deep into his own being, and pulled it out. A flame, a shining circle. It glowed brilliantly in his hand, much brighter than the constellations he had spread about, or the sun he had ignited. This is, I began. This is part of me. He finished and added what I couldn't have imagined. Out of me, I will make my children. For the first time, I saw why the children were so treasured. I saw the uniqueness in them. They bore his light. The universe he created, the children he fathered. But the darkness, I had to ask, why? Just as I choose, so must they choose, else they won't be mine. Just then his face lifted, his eyes brightened, but they all won't forget me. Look. Into tomorrow I gazed. At first I saw nothing, just swampy darkness billowing. But then as I searched, I saw, first, only one, then a cluster, then more lights there were, flickers of candles, weakened but not lost in the darkness. Like the stars they had cast against the black heavens, these flames flickered in the sable sea. It's my children. There was pride in his voice. My children remembered. The look on his face, I cannot forget. His eyes had sparkled when he suspended the planets in space. His cheeks had danced as he heard the cat purr. I had seen his face alive before, but not like now. For at this moment, when he saw his children, a light in the midst of the darkness, when he saw those who were his seeking him, he celebrated. His countenance exploded with joy. His head flew back, and laughter shook the stars. My children, my children, my children, were his only words. And then he paused, wiped the tear from his face, and pledged a promise for all of heaven to hear. You haven't forgotten me. I won't forget you. Then he turned to me. To work, Michael. We have much to do. We must make the dream come true. And I thought making the animal was a delight. No two were alike. He vowed as he began reaching into himself for balls of light, some big, some small, some timid, some bold, some with big ears, some with little. And off his palm they came. Generation chosen. Destination determined. Each with a different thread of character or shape of their body, but each with a bit of him, a light within. And he even let me help. Look what I made, Father, I told him. I call them freckles. Let me show you how they work. And he smiled. Beautiful depiction of creation. Okay. Now we'll go a little further in the scriptures. Who has Matthew 5:8? Okay.
Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God.
Blessed are the pure in heart. What in the world does pure in heart mean?